This is Laura from Africa, aka Rogan Osrine, and in today's video, I want to talk about everything nowadays is very irrelevant. And when you look at this world for all of the watered down and generic filth that it offers, you start to understand that you don't have a place being in this type of world. And the people that I am talking to are the people who have always felt like they are out of place in life. They don't have any type of specialty that can give them any type of financial market value. They can't entertain people with whatever they're good at doing, if they're good at anything by society standards, right? So, overall, it's just really not a pleasant experience to exist in this world. It just isn't. Because many of the things that you once wanted to do, they have crippled you mentally because you were not able to achieve those things in the first place. Because why would you keep desiring something that only just mocks you and ridicules you for wanting it and never gives you the chance to ever have it? You know, it's like for the case of many men who are still trying to seek a woman to date. A lot of these men are just completely out their mind. Like, you have to be. Like, what are you not understanding that dating in today's society is just not a smart thing anymore? Like, especially if you're an everyday average man, you're just invisible. And even if you do get noticed, you're most likely going to attract the wrong type of woman to you. And that's especially been my experiences with the women that I've dated. So you could either be one of the men who never have any experience whatsoever in dating because you were just totally obsolete, or you could be a man every once blue moon who gets a chance, and even the chances you get, you're gonna be bullied, you're gonna be terrorized by these chicks, and it's not a good feeling. And many people don't understand what it's like to go their whole lives having to lose at everything that they try to do. And whatever effort you try to put forward into moving into a successful position, it always crumbles. It always falters because some outside force or some person doesn't want you to succeed or give you some type of good experience so you can actually have some confidence to go on forward in life. So many of us, we do not know what it's like to experience a life of less stress, to have moments in our life where we feel like we can be comfortable, where there's no adversities barely around us. And there's always going to be obstacles and issues that you have to face in life. But overall, if you never had a chance to just sit back, rest, and relax and say, you know what, today seems like it's a fine day. I actually got to achieve something that I really wanted to do for a long time. And to be able to say that I was the one who actually went out there and put in the effort and actually got the results that I wanted. Many of us, we can't look back on memories like that because they never existed. So everything nowadays is just really worthless when you look at it for the most part. Because if you aren't making a big heap amount of money, then your life isn't really going to amount to anything really. And I just have to keep it real for what it is. If you're not one of these people that are millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires, then there's barely anything you can do to actually fight against this system, because you have to have some type of big financial gain in order to have some type of leg up on this slave system that we have to compete in the first place. So if you don't have any of that, then your life is going to be extremely harder, because we just have to face the point that many of our lives, they're never going to be really exciting. It's never going to be something that's just so spectacular to live out, because many of the things that we sought to do in the past, they have just really decimated us mentally. We no longer have the strength to believe in ourselves. We no longer can look ourselves in the mirror and feel like we're proud of being a human being and actually being proud of who we are as an individual, because everything that's good about us, it's been demonized, it's been shunned, it's been met with backlash from people around us, such as these pathetic freaking family members who love to sit up and just gaslight you. They tell you how everything is all in your head. you're making up all of these issues when in reality, they're causing your pain. They're the ones who are belittling you and trying to put their trauma onto you. And sadly, we're going to continue seeing people who behave like this also win in society, because it's always the people who don't give a damn about anyone else besides themselves that win. And also, they're smart at deceiving people. And that's another thing. The people that you do see get caught and get arrested for the little petty crimes, and some people will say, oh, that's karma, they had it coming. No, moron. These people were not smart enough to actually succeed in that area to where they were trying to deceive people in. Whether it has to do with business, whether it has to do with them being some type of lawyer or whatever they're into. These people did not have the wits about them to even get ahead without getting caught in the first place. So the people that you always see that are winning, usually, they're not just evil. They're also smart about their deception. They're smart about how they go about causing agony in other people's lives, blackmailing people at their job to do things for them, always trying to start confusion and chaos around other people so they can continue fighting like dogs over the scraps of crumbs of food that the elites continue to give to them over the food table, and they just throw it down and people just go right for it. So these people that we see in today's society that are on top, these evil parasites that are unfortunately a part of the human race, they are going to continue succeeding because too many of us are just too egotistical and ignorant to come together. This is why you'll never have a true united society. Because in order for that to happen, that means that everyone has to put away all of their bias. Everyone has to come to some type of agreement of how we're going to actually better society from a pure standpoint of not allowing violence, not allowing any type of assaults to happen that are just so inappropriate and just disgusting, and not allowing people to get abused verbally or physically, no matter the situation it revolves around. So unless we can have that type of deep understanding as we come together, merge as one, as the whole human species, we will never be able to achieve anything that is really worthwhile of going after. Because if you look at society nowadays, everyone is the complete opposite. People want to try and mess with you and pick on you all because of how you look. They want to try and put you down because you don't have enough money in order for you to be able to travel whenever you want to. People want to try and fight you over your political views or whatever spiritual or religious views that you may have currently, which I still think is not going to really serve you in today's society. Because if you look at where all of our lives are going, mainly, it's not going towards anything that's good. It's mostly going towards things that are going to be our very downfall. If you have a generation, especially like my generation, Generation Z, and millennials, that are not producing anything of substance, such as having good jobs, they aren't starting families, they aren't even able to reproduce anymore, especially in the case with the men, because of how horrible the dating market has become. You are not going to have a very well and sustainable society. You just can't, because there are too many issues for anything to even work properly in the first place. You take away the whole nuclear family, you take away the ability to even be able to have your own house at a young age of at least 23 or 25, I would say. Heck, you can't even do that anymore. And if you take away people's ability to actually speak out about the issues that they have faced in their lives, such as dealing with harsh rejections every day, having your family trying to belittle you every day, having people trying to ruin your reputation, make fake online profiles of you, and just slander your name, and now all of a sudden you're faced with even more backlash from the public because these people think that you're the one that's causing all of these problems because someone is portraying themselves as you online, and now they're making your name look even worse, and you're possibly going to get arrested soon. This is the type of crap that we have to deal with. And I cannot allow anyone to sit up here and tell me that this society is getting better. All we need is just one political belief. All we need is just one religion. All we need is just this one social tradition to carry on. It's not that simple, because if it was that simple, then people would have already figured out a long time ago what actually works for people to come together. As human beings, we are just faulty creatures. We cannot do anything correct. When you look at things at the actual monumental problems that we cause, we cannot do anything correct together. All we seem to do is just give a little solution here and there that's very temporary, and then we go about destroying other people's lives, such as all of these businesses that give people old medications or faulty medications that make people sick, and now they're back at the hospital again having to need another surgery because the medication that these people gave them, their doctors, right, it didn't work out for them, and now they're back at the hospital sick again. This society thrives off just keeping you sick, sad, and just totally miserable out of your mind. That's all it can thrive on, because if you were a happy individual in the first place who could actually endure all of the strife around you, for when it comes to having to deal with your career, having to deal with the relationships around you that you have with people, and if you were actually a person that was cut out to deal with that, you would be succeeding, no problem. You would just have it figured out already. So if you're a person like us, you're most likely not going to have anything figured out, because everything nowadays is just completely useless. It doesn't really add any meaning to your life, and it doesn't help you whatsoever. And sadly, things are only going to continue to get worse. And I cannot imagine the future in even 10 years or 20 years from now, because I can assure you we are going to be even more of a deeper state of physical hell than we are right now. But you guys take care. Like, subscribe if you're new. Tell me what else you guys want me to elaborate in the comment section. I highly appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video. And like I always tell you guys, stay away from the modern woman. Thank you.